Welcome to Sports Biz with LD and Dr. Rich. I can't get rid of you, buddy. I come into the show and you're sitting in the chair.
You know what it is? I can't get out of the chair, so I just stay here.
People have been
They dust
saying,
me and everything, it's all right.
let's get right to it.
I know.
So you have Derek Fisher, head coach of the New York Knickerbockers.
Yes.
So my question to you, Rich, is we'll talk about the business side because we always like to put a little business here.
Absolutely.
So you have Mr. Fisher, who's supposed to lead by example. He's our coach. He's our head coach. He is brought in to manage the team, manage the players.
That's
now,
right.
What I have learned is he had asked the Knicks to leave, and it just started training camp. They just had a game last night at the Garden.
That's right.
Okay, so it's preseason. After you went 17-65, he told the Knicks that he needed to leave for personal reasons. Okay, listen. Life is, you need to go.
It happens.
It ends up, what was he doing here, Richard?
Fooling around with the girl in her red dress?
Now, do you know anything about this?
No, I do not.
This is Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes played with him. They were teammates. Played in L.A. together as well.
Okay.
Here's a little bit more of the triangle. Okay? So they were friends.
Okay.
Now, they broke up, whether they got divorced or not, I didn't read into it that much, but the bottom line is he ended up, while he was there, on personal reason, how personal is.
Right.
He hooks up with her, and listen, who am I to tell you who you hook up with? That's fine, that's cool.
That's right.
End of the day, of course, there's some sort of, you don't mess around with other players' wives and girlfriends.
Nope.
You don't mess around if you're the coach with the play and stuff like that. There's what's the old line? There's plenty of, I'll help you. Fish in the sea.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, maybe you're not a fisherman. Okay.
I haven't had a fish tank since I was 10 years old.
So that's why that question didn't work for you?
That's right.
So my question to you is, Dr. Richard, let's go straight to the business end. Because listen, whatever they do, they do. Does this hurt the business of the New York Knicks?
Well, I think anything like this has an impact and a blemish because that's just how it is. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll tell you, I don't think it's going to hurt the business of the Knicks at all. That is a machine steamrolling in. You go to MSG, you go to the Garden, they can suck like they did last year at 17-65, they're still making tons of money.
That's true.
It's just a shame that this is the gentleman that you brought in to be the face of the franchise, to be the guy who's going to lead these guys from a 17-65 record, which you were a part of because you were the head coach.
That's right.
But you seemed very lost last year, but let's not kid ourselves. It is all about the talent. It's not really about the head coach, really.
And let's be honest, he got caught with the sand in the cookie jar because a lot of people do this, but they don't necessarily, they cover their tracks or whatever.
And I guess he didn't, and who knows if they end up being together. I just thought, that being front page of the Daily News, front page of the New York Post. This is the kind of stuff you don't want, you don't need.
And the moral of the story is, be careful of women in red dresses. And we'll be back after these messages here on the Daily Blue.
Hello everyone, I'm Corinne Murphy-Caro, and I'm the founder of TheDailyBlue.com. The Daily Blue is all about spreading positive news about Long Islanders, and we want to hear from you. Tell us your stories. Our show hosts are waiting to hear from you. Sponsor an ad or advertise with us. Call us now, 631-761-9223.
Welcome back to Sports Biz with LD. I'm your host, Larry Davis, and
Dr. Richard Cherney.
Why'd you get all serious, Dr. Richard Cherney? Why'd you get serious all of a sudden?
That was my speaking voice.
Yeah, we don't need your doctor voice here, okay?
I'm Dr. Richard Cherney, and I do a show here called Journey into Awareness with my co-host and fiance, Jamie Love, from San Diego.
I've heard a lot of people want to check out Dr. Jamie Love.
Yeah, and I know why. She looks good in a red dress.
Love that red dress. So now let's go from basketball
To baseball.
So your friend Matt Harvey.
Yeah, he didn't show up for a workout.
Now, what do you take on that? Take me through your feeling about Matt Harvey not showing up as the ball player, and then take it as if you were his teammate.
Well, I see it this way. Teams get together and work out for a reason because it gets you psyched for the game, camaraderie, teammate, chemistry, and he doesn't show up. That gives a message that maybe his other teammates don't like. That's how I see it.
Well, the captain, David Wright, didn't like it and pretty much made an effort to let Matt know, as he should. And what can Matt say? I mean, it was a 12 o'clock start. Even if he was out partying the night before, we don't know what he was doing. 12 o'clock still, if you're out till 3, 4 in the morning, you can get up on time and get there.
Don't teams usually have curfews, though?
Nah, they don't have curfews. The guys are, these are older guys. There's no real curfews. They're not on the road. Maybe a football team on the road, yes, the night before.
Right.
But, no, these are professional baseball players, basketball. There's no real curfews.
They're supposed to police themselves.
You're supposed to police yourself. So, Matt, even if he went out the night before and party, good for him. He's 25, 26 years old. He should go out and enjoy himself. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, there's just so many things that have happened with him that the Mets and him don't agree on. But it's all about the talent. If the guy goes out in Game 3 and pitches a gem, who cares?
That's right.
But the camaraderie, like you said, that's the problem. So he already got his mulligan.
Sure.
He got it. Listen, and if it happens again, what are you going to do? Okay, they'll fine him, maybe suspend him. They're not going to suspend him during the playoffs when it can help them, and in the playoffs where it might hurt them.
That's right.
Suspended him.
That's right.
We'll move on to the New York Yankees, who please. Yankees are
You mean the New York Stankies?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Now they're going to be able to say, we made the playoffs. Big deal.
Right.
One and done. They haven't won a playoff game in years. The problem with them is you spend all this money and you can't win.
Their payroll is really, really tough.
Rich, you can't spend $250 million with 85 games.
No.
Okay, so start picking the right talent. You don't need to spend all this money. But again, right there too, the Yankees make so much money. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
That's the problem. There's no incentive that you got to make the playoffs because they're going to make more money.
And the ownership is not running it like George M.
Well, nobody is George. Offspring is never like the family. But I'll tell you something. The ratings for the game were ridiculous. The ratings had 7.6 million viewers. That is the most they've had for an MLB wildcard game. And it's the most that they've had since 2003.
Really?
Yeah, so think about that. I mean, again, so the Stankies, as you call them, still bring the people from all over the country. That is a ratings bonanza. So if we go and talk about the Mets, that could be a ratings bonanza. I think we spoke about that last week on the show when I walked in. You were in that seat again. I mean, I just can't get rid of you. I don't think you leave. You just wait for the show.
I'm glued.
Because now you're going to have left coast, right coast. If you remember, we spoke about Dodgers, Mets.
And that's going to be a great series. It's
going to be a great series. Yeah. So I know last week you told us the Mets will win. So you still believe that, I would think? I think the Dodgers will beat the Mets.
In 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I just think that the Dodgers with Kershaw, again, haven't been able to pitch well in the postseason. I think this is the year he's going to show everyone how dominant he could be. Then you got Greinke backing him up, and I know the Mets got DeGrom, and they got Harvey, and they got Syndergaard. We put Syndergaard up there with these guys. He's got great stuff. He hasn't really won anything. You know what I mean? He's pitched well. He only pitches well at home.
That's true.
And he's going to be pitching on the road. Let's not forget that because of the Matt Harvey thing. He can only pitch a certain amount of innings. Otherwise, you would have had probably Matt be your first Game 1 starter.
Yes.
So because of that, that hurts the Mets as well.
That's true. We will see. I am going with the fact that the Mets are really hungry because they're young and they haven't been there since 1986 or 86 was when they won
the World Series.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but they made the playoffs again in 2000. If you remember, they went to the World Series against the Yankees in the Subway Series with
That's
Bobby
right.
Valentine, and then
Yes.
went back to the playoffs again years later. Willie Randolph was
Right.
the manager. So
That's
they've been
right.
to the playoffs, but these players have not.
That's
That's
right.
really what it comes down to.
And that might be the fire that will fuel them and get them to win. But
And
we'll
one
see.
last thing with you being a doctor, let's talk a little bit about CC Sabathia. You know,
Yes.
CC Sabathia comes out right before the playoffs started. You know, basically, I guess he's saying, I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
I need help. He decides that, you know, he did it before the playoffs
That's
started.
true.
I don't know what that means. Some people saying, is it selfish? I guess if you have a problem, you need to be selfish.
Absolutely.
So he felt that's the time. I mean, people could say, well, you didn't help the team. Wasn't going to help the team anyhow. Even though I felt the way he came back and pitched, I would have maybe even thought about giving him that start. I would have thought about it. But with CC out, you know, Ken, I know everybody will hope everything works out for him. But you being a doctor and thinking about those things, you know, what's the first thing you think about when you hear about one of these guys and they need some help out the whole
Well, it's a lot of pressure to be a baseball player, especially him. You know, his performance was waning this year compared to previous years, and maybe his substance abuse problem had something to do with that.
That's a good point. And also, you know, he's heavy. He's fat.
Yes.
There's no
Yes.
doubt. You know, he said he was in love with Captain Crunch,
Yes.
which was his favorite. I gotta tell you, I love the Captain too. I mean, it is delicious.
Well, alcoholics are also addicted to sugar.
I didn't even think of that. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. And then what I was going to bring to you, and that's probably why it was heavy too, because people who drink a lot are heavy,
That's right.
right? They're
Yes.
heavy, you know, and they're not taking
Yes.
care of themselves. You
That's
can't
right.
work out as well.
That's right.
You have that on you. I remember, I'll leave you with this. Jerry Cooney, the great boxer, told me that for about 10 years, while he was boxing, he drank a bottle a day
Well, that's all
and
right.
worked out and then fought Larry Holmes for the heavyweight title. Just imagine. The
Wow.
guy had a bottle a day and still ran his 8 to 10 miles, worked on the bag, worked out and trained, had the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Some people can, and some people can't.
Sports Biz with LD. I'm your host, Larry Davis, and
I'm Dr. Richard Cherney, Larry David's guest co-host, and I thank Larry for his generosity, always.
we'll see you next week. Who knows if he'll still be in the chair? Probably only check the clothing. You'll be able to tell if he'll still be there. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.